One of my producers, I don't want to get into the names because I don't want your name taken off this list, is apparently secretly on Newt Gingrich's email list. And, or maybe not so secretly, I don't know. But anyhow, Newt sent one of my producers this email, and I just have to share it with you. This is what's going out to Republicans all over the country. Emails cost virtually nothing to send. So, you know, he may even be buying millions of names. Maybe that's how we ended up with it. He's just, you know, bought names of people who are political donors or names of people who are politically active, or God only knows where he bought the mailing list, right? But this is the email. It's titled The Cruel Dishonesty of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And, you know, once again, I want to make the point that I made in the first hour of this program with Congressman Pocan. In fact, it's how we opened the show. I brought this up and I asked him what he thought about it. In my opinion, the reason why the Trump administration allowed that Inspector General report from DHS about the cruel conditions, the inhumane conditions, the illegal conditions down on the southern border in these Border Patrol detention facilities, concentration camps, allowed that report to go out, is because Trump is not embarrassed or ashamed of this. Stephen Miller is not embarrassed or ashamed of this. They're proud of it. They want their white racist base, their Fox News watching, you know, racially hysterical white base, they want these folks to know how cruel they can be to people of color. They are delighting in it. They're reveling in it. They're bragging about it. And on top of that, they're paying John Kelly's company now $750 per child per day to keep them in prison, to keep them in dog cages. So, first of all, you have to understand, these guys are celebrating this. And then comes this kind of stuff from Newt Gingrich. And I'm quoting from his letter. I'll just read you the first two paragraphs. It took Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's visit to the border and her dishonest comments afterwards to help me understand how profoundly vicious, cruel, and dishonest she is. When you look at the larger picture, it is clear that Ocasio-Cortez is eager and determined to undermine and destroy America as we know it. Now, she's getting death threats on a regular basis. You think this is going to help? He goes on, when your goals are that radical, lying is simply part of the game. When you despise American values and find the American people deplorable and contemptible, lying is perfectly natural. And then he describes Ocasio-Cortez's type of, quote, vicious, deliberately dishonest politics. This is how vicious and deliberately dishonest the Republican Party has become. This is new. I mean, you remember, Newt Gingrich was the one who came up with the word list back in 1996, where he said he came up with two lists of words, good words and bad words, and said Republicans need to memorize these words, patriotic, stand tall, all this kind of stuff, and then use these adjectives whenever you're describing Republicans or Republican policies. And whenever you describe Democrats or Democratic policies, never use the word Democratic, always use the word Democrat. And like, Joe McCarthy used to say, emphasize the rat. And of course, the name of the party is the Democratic Party. It was named that by Thomas Jefferson. But, number one. And number two, use words like, elite and snob and ivory tower and all this, liberal and all this kind of stuff. This is the Newt Gingrich who has been engineering language forever. And he's now, in my opinion, trying to get Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez assassinated. This is what it looks like to me, particularly given how widely this is being distributed. This is despicable.